Hello! Today is going to be the third episode in Hearts of Iron Lost and Found, and today we're going to be focusing on Judgment Day. What is Judgment Day? You have clicked on the video. I believe you would have understood what Judgment Day is. I mean, there's not many corners in YouTube where you can find this sort of stuff, let alone anything about Judgment Day apart from like the mad artist or something. But I digress. Now, what is Judgment Day? Judgment Day is a Hearts of Iron 4 mod. Hearts of Iron 4 being a Paradox made map game. And this mod focuses on a possible sequel to the other Hearts of Iron 4 mod, much more popular, called Red Flood. What is Red Flood? Red Flood is a Hearts of Iron 4 mod in which World War I was won by no one, where the Russians won in the East against Germany in World War I, where the Germans won against the French in the West in World War I, where the French have been taken over by an artistic accelerationist leader. Accelerationism basically being to do it, advance technology so fast that we get to a breaking point, and they feel that it is inevitable to get to a breaking point eventually, but they want to speed up the reaction so that they can just get it over with and live into a peaceful society afterwards. Germany follows the socialist revolutionaries, and the Russians fall to delayed civil war that actually happens in the game. But Judgment Day is a post that mod. Red Flood begins in 1936. This mod starts 20 years after in 1952, I believe. I think so. It may have been 1956. I haven't played the game in a while, seeing as my computer's broken, and that's also an explanation for why all this is on paper. But as I was saying, the main things to remember about Judgment Day is that after World War II, which involved the accelerationist France crushing all of Western Europe under their heel, splitting Germany and a little bit of Poland, along with none of the Balkans. All the Balkans stay underneath one large entity, but they basically split Europe down the middle with Great Scythia, which is a successor state with Gorgolov, a Russian revolutionary who in our timeline tried killed the French president and got executed, obviously, in about 1931. But Great Scythia is the successor state to the Southeastern Union in Red Flood, which takes over all of Russia, all of Eastern Europe, and puts them under their heel. All of East Asia is under either the realm of Buddha, which is Roman von Ungern Sternberg, some random... I feel like if you're watching this video, you might already know who that is. But essentially, he was some random Russian guy who tried to take over Mongolia in our timeline, died. And Red Flood timeline is just like a liaison to Mongolia, where he holds this little imperial authority in Tanotuva. And in this Judgment Day, he takes over all of Tibet, Xinjiang, a little bit. That's not how you pronounce it. The Muslim part of China. A little bit of Central Asia, just barely. And all of Western China. All of Eastern China, the coastline and everything, is controlled by the Japanese socialists who obviously won the Japanese Civil War, which is in Red Flood mod. But in this Judgment Day, they have won the Civil War, taken over most of Eastern Asia. India is already collapsed in Red Flood, so that's just kind of a continuance. And there's not much content for them during the official demo release, and I'll get to that lore. But in Red Flood, the USA has a path in which it can collapse, and in Judgment Day, it has collapsed to a warlord status where basically France invaded all the East Coast during the warlord state. A time period. Jesus. Basically, all the American warlords banded together for a while to try and stop the French from completely taking over all of the USA. They failed. The French slowly got bogged down in the Mississippi River basin, and basically that's it. South America is slightly overrun by accelerationists in Chile and Pindorama, or Brazil, basically. And there's a war in Judgment Day, but that's during the game, so it doesn't really count. But yeah. Now, it's obvious both by the time of this video, like how long it is. I haven't even got to that part yet. Yeah, but I can imagine it's horrible. And the amount of paper that I have strewn around me, you can't see it, but you'll see it in a minute, that I have worked very hard to get all of this to you guys, to my loyal viewers of 65 subscribers. And I will entertain you at minimum for the rest of this however long video. And I would like at least, before I get into this, show you my raw thinking process. Now, I have separated the Judgment Day development cycle into a list of about 10 or so sections that all have their own maps, have their own things about them. Like they all different warlords in America, different ways to split up Britain, completely different Greek Scythias. Like in earlier development times, it was actually controlled by Tukhachevsky and like ultra nationalist Slavics. And yeah, the only thing that's never really changed is France being under the accelerationist heel and controlling the Netherlands. But still, just take a look at all these ramblings that I have put together just to explain to myself what this is. I even have a master document which entrails all of the major differences between any of the, sections. I'm going to call them sections from now on. But there's the first one, there's 2A, there's 2B, there's 3A, there's 3B, there's D, which is the demo, and you can just go play the demo. I can't. I don't have a computer. It's broken. There's 3D. There's 5. Why there's no 4? It's thinking process. There's 6A. There's a brief 6B, and there's the prophesized D2, which has not come out yet. What is D2? Well, what is D? D is demo. D is for demo, which is the only reason this mod exists, because they had to put something out about a year ago. But D2 is the prophesized second demo. Is that a full release? I sure fucking hope so, but it probably isn't. It's probably always promising skeleton content, and they have reworks of Indy and America and the British Isles and all this crap. But to say the least, I don't know when it'll ever come out. I didn't follow The Fire Rises, but I imagine that may have been something like this, where there's promises of it will never come out, or joking around that it will never come out, and then one day it might come out, and I'll look the fool. I sure hope I look the fool, because I would love to play this game. But I already can't right now because of no computer, but still. Into the actual mod. Now, why have I divided them into this? Major changes in the look of the actual map and some of the lore stuff. Now, I'm just going to go briefly over why all these are different. There's a primordial. There was a YouTube video that I'll link down in the comments. There's a re-upload of it from 2 years ago. But that inspired a guy on Reddit to make a map on the Red Flood subreddit. Be like, man, this looks cool. What if I make an aftermath of Red Flood? And he made that map. Another guy on Reddit was like, oh my god, that's so cool. What if I turn this into a Hearts of Iron 4 mod? And he did. And that's where number 1 comes in. Now, 2A and 2B are when it gets a bit more serious. Because in number 1, they have the default ocean skin of just having a really light oceans. But 2A and 2B, it looks a lot more serious. It's darker. It's more like aesthetic. It has its own like feel to it. 3A and 3B are the slowly coming up on the actual demo release. 3B is as close as we get to the demo without being the demo. Demo is the actual release. You can actually play that right now. 3D is more of a twilight period after the demo where little is actually changed except for like India. That's the only thing that's changed in 3D is India. 5 is a near complete and total rework of the American warlord states. And 6A and 6B is another rework of the American warlord states. And yeah. And that's a pretty good explanation of that, isn't it? Now, to get into the actual mod development cycle. Now, start with the primordial phase, which for an entertainment purposes, I have developed into a comic book for you people. Now, should I have done this? Fuck no! Jesus Christ almighty! This is a horrible thing to do, I think. Now, I could have made this video about a week ago, but I decided to do this. But, okay, let's get into story time. Now, in the beginning, there was nothing interesting at least, until the first YouTube video was created that mattered. And so were the eyes that witnessed it. This is the guy who actually created the Reddit post that inspired the other guy. The Talem Eklistich had seen, and he had produced a thought. I need to post this to Reddit. It was an extremely strange idea, to say the least. For there was no Reddit. There was no anything. He was the first being to inherit this universe. And so he went towards forging it, to creating a universe in which he could post it for others to see and to appreciate. And he created everything we believe in, everything we see, and everything we are. And when he had finally finished his creation, he rested next to his Reddit post, which I have already drawn in a completely other map that I will show you later. And time had passed for, I'm going to say Talem, basically, but Talem. Some worshipped it, some others forgot, and some never even cared, nor did they knew. It was let go by the world to rot. Now, this is more of a hyperbolization. It was probably like a month until the next I saw it, but, it has to be cooler for the comic, but doesn't it? And the seal, it was inscribed only to be read by a worthy successor. Now, Python, it's Python_slay with an E at the end, but I didn't feel like writing that whole thing out. But he was accepted into the crypt. He obviously was a successor, or he wouldn't be there. Now, would he? Now, the weird thing about this is that it got was so easy, but that was more just an excuse for me to draw a fight scene. But, it wouldn't be a comic book if it wasn't a fight scene. And then it cuts a dude's arm off. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. But there's a button I didn't draw until I figured I needed it for story purposes. The whole cave began to rumble, and out popped Judgment Day. He would name it, but for story purposes, it's cooler if he doesn't. Now, as he walked from the cave, he realized that he stood at the precipice of an enormous crossroads of destiny. But what to do with all that power? Well, obviously, he had to get answers from the creator of the universe, who had created the idea and the entire universe just to post on Reddit about his idea from a YouTube video. Now, as the successor, Python obviously had to create this into a Hearts-of-Iron 4 mod. And no Hearts-of-Iron 4 mod is, the same without its many developers. Some may come, some may go, and many will be remembered, and even more will be forgotten. There you go. Yeah, you guys can enjoy that by actually reading or pausing the video. But I mostly made that for the part of the description that I made a whole comic for this, because me reading off a bunch of maps for an hour is not as entertaining as I wished it was. But let's get into the actual part of the video that matters. Now, I've created multiple worldwide maps for this, just for a reference point. But first of all, let's get to the actual lore of it. No, wait, that only starts at demo. But yeah. Now, number one is the original post by Python_slay on Reddit, where we have the much lighter oceans, seeing as this was much earlier in the development cycle. It's only this stuff right there. 2 days later. But all of America is united. This is before the American warlords idea was had, in which Mexico is united as the Technate. All these areas underneath are all puppets of America in the game. But I'll show you more when I get into the other maps. All of Western Europe is under accelerationist France boot, including Britain, Italy. The teaser doesn't really go too far into it. You don't get an actual look of Germany, but you do get just the borders of France, which gives you an idea of what could be there. And also there's another teaser that just says that there is a Prussian state. But you just know that there are 3 German states confirmed. Now, Yugoslavia and the rest of Eastern Europe, I'm not entirely sure if they are actually part of the first section of development, seeing as the teaser in which they are released in has all the oceans blurred out. So there is a slight possibility that he used the original Talem Etch, whatever, to, you know, explore it, which I will pull out for you right now. There we go. There we go. Now, this is the post that Sam X however you say that name created. Now, as you can see, there is no Great Scythia. There is no anything confirmed, you know, in any essence to that. That comes way after. That comes in 3A, man. We are not even close to that. But I'm going to bring it close to the camera so you can get like a better view of it. There you go. Now, you can read it, you can look at it, but I'll get the gist out of the way. But the main point of it is that the intermarium is still a thing. All of Germany is under French boot, a little bit like the eastern parts of it are under intermarium Polish boot. Can you read that? Yeah, you can read that. Yeah. But, and the Russian Empire is still a thing, which is way before, because even in like 2A and 2B, there is a Slavic ultranationalist Red Russia, and that's a completely different thing than the Green Russia, which we see in the Talem post. And there you go. And that is the first edition of this. This is the only bit of content we have for whatever ideas Talem had. Number one that's all of what is for number one, except for this one thing I have somewhere. You can understand I got a lot of paper, and I use both sides of it, so it's gonna be a minute. This is extremely unprofessional, though, keeping my viewers waiting for something they don't deserve. Fuck this. Shit, I did so much stuff. Where is it? I just saw it, too. There it is. Alright. Anyway, this is just a general sheet for all of Canada and Mexico and all the other stuff involved in there. Because I didn't feel like drawing it with the rest of the USA because that would be kind of cluttering up the piece of paper. But yeah, but for number one, all of North America is under the North American Tegnate, including America and Canada, including the Caribbean and a small bit of South America, which I'll show in what you saw. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah. A bit of South America there. That one is part of the North American Tegnate. Mexican National State, which is obviously a American puppet. Central American Tegnate, which is also an American puppet. And then there's the Colombian Tegnate, which I have in no other piece of paper because it is so insignificant to the main part of this. Yeah. There we go. But yeah, in this one, there's a lot less that is confirmed. In the French teaser for this original number one section, I was able to discern that there was definitely some northwestern blue German state. There was some white Switzerland-looking state, and another teaser was confirmed that there was a Prussian state, but there was never a map with it. It was just confirmed that it existed, just as there is Denmark and just as there is an Italian National Republic. It can only be confirmed that these exist here. Nothing can be confirmed here, and I'm not even entirely sure this is part of number one. This may just be the beginning of 2A, and you'll see what I mean in a second. And there you go. And then 2A, which is... There we go. 2A. Main thing about 2A is the slow ascension into American warlordism, which makes this so much easier. God almighty. Let's see. Let me just pull it out of my ass somewhere. Jesus. You can imagine it's kind of hard to organize all this into just one cohesive little expose into a hard-to-find format that has constant, delays and reworks and overdue progress reports like the one they haven't released yet. God almighty. And I still have to keep you people entertained, let alone myself. Shoot, it's in here somewhere. Where is it? Listen, I'm just as confused as you people. You can imagine there's a lot of these. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I think I'm getting close. There it is. There we go. All right. Sorry for the wait. There we go. 2A. Yeah, America stays consistent through to 2A. It only changed a little bit in 2B, then to D, and then 5 and 6. But I just want to get a really good look at this one. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Yeah. That is the main component for American 2A, 2B, and 3A. Yeah. The main thing is that it hasn't been conquered by any sort of French stuff yet. All of that stuff is only confirmed in the demo release of this. That's the only time when they actually have America as complete, just fucking broken apart, and all of the eastern parts of it be underneath French boot. Yeah. As I was saying. But, yeah. Now, this is why I'm a little bit confused with the, east of Europe in this area. Seeing as, number one is decently faithful to the whole fucking Talam. That's a shorthand for this one. It's decently... It might not be. It's decently loyal to the original Talam ideas. But it's a lot more expanded into the Judgment Day that we all know and love today. With Zelimia, Velislavia, with that being controlled by Tukhachevsky. And lore about that is basically that he won the Russian Civil War and Red Flood and took over all of Eastern Europe by allying with a bunch of nationalist movement in the Latvian region and the Finland region and the Polish, basically having them as his puppets because they need to be loyal to something. Yeah, that's the way I understood it. And with Constantinople area, that is a completely different nation, but it's not entirely understandable what it is. It's not this one, but I can't read it. And it's the same with 2B. Here, I'll read out what I think it might be. I've even drawn out what it looks like on the teaser. That's what it looks like. That's the white lines on the Hearts of Iron 4 screen that I was able to suss out. State of something Kobama? The fuck? What is this shit? It's understandable how I'm angry about this. Also, Yugoslavia is a part of the whole Slavic organization, even though it includes Baltics, which aren't, Slavic. But all of this area, like Prussian, that thing, this thing, that one, him, you, her, and that one, including the Common Thule, are all under French boot. The explanation for this is obviously they used the Trieste Tree for Italy, where that little city controls all of Italy, because France intervened in the Civil War. They intervened in the Spanish Civil They invaded England when they intervened in the war between France and Germany, and then the French defeated both Germany and the English. So yeah, Romania and the Hungarians are completely the same. Greek is probably a part of this one, or not. It could just not be. But yeah. There's also a little part of it that might need to get explained. Let me just grab it. There's going to be a lot of these where I just had to look for stuff in this long pile. And I'm not going to go back and edit all this. I've done enough work for you people. Nope. Maybe. Where is it? Nope. No, never mind. If you're so dedicated to watch this video, that's something nice. But there we go. Yeah. There's no confirmed complete and total map of anything outside of Europe or Americas in the 2 period, 2A and 2B. The only thing we have is we know that the state of Turkey, TU with the 2 dots above it, RKYE, that's just, and it has just the borders of Turkey. There are some yellow United Arab Republic, everything south of Turkey, and we still have a red Iran. That is consistent for the rest of this development stuff. That red Iran has most of Turkmenistan, a little bit of all of Uzbekistan, decent amount of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iraq, and a bit of a Baltics. That continues until 6A. That continues into the demo. That continues into everything. That's one of the only consistent things through this entire thing. Yeah. There we go. Now, yeah, that's all of 2A. Number 2B. All right. Now, Jesus Christ, this is confusing to look at. There we go. I'll try and get it up and close so you can take a picture of it. If you can't read it, I'll actually read these ones out for you to be nice. Now what changes from 2B or 2A to 2B? Well, there's one thing that holds this whole early pre-demo development period. That little thing. The Central Industrial Zone. That's the name of it. It's this central part of Germany, which is called the Central Industrial Zone, because it's a fucked up accelerationist country. That's weird. Is that understandable? It is. But another thing that makes 2B completely different from 2A is the duchy system. And it also forebodes a possible post-Great Eurasian War path for Great Scythia. Because in the teaser and which it shows the duchies, it has one of the people who made the actual teasers, Literally Nothing Here, which is a very large YouTube channel and something that I aspire to be. He explains that any regime change in Great Scythia will also change the names for the Scythian puppets, which are this little area, this little bit of Poland, which includes Silesia, all of the Czechs, the Slovaks, the Hungarians, and Romanians. Because everything 2B and forward will have this general area being under Russian heel. Yugoslavia, past this point, will be completely independent. I don't know if it's the Albanian path or just a general Yugoslavia path from Red Flood, but it'll just be on its own. And, England and Iberia stay the same. Iberia changes a lot, but it's not it's not really inconsequential. I have a whole chart for it, and I'll show you in a minute. But yeah. Also, there's a really fucked up long name for this one. Velikoslavianskaya Zemlya, which I'm pretty sure is just the homeland for the Slavs or something like that in American, in English. But there is a Finland, but it just looks like regular Finland, and it definitely doesn't have Estonia. I don't know what it is. It's not confirmed of anything. It's probably not too inconsequential if I just don't understand it and I don't have to dig through my 1,000 screenshot full folder on my phone to find out again. Because it won't be there because I would have already found out by now. Good? All right then. Just for reference, this is all the stuff we have for 2A. Just for reference. Let me get that. There we go. Speaking of which, just for funzos, 2 and 3A have the same America outside of the USA, with all of Quebec being independent, a maritime federation including Newfoundland and that little bit of Halifax, Republic of Canada controlling the rest. Mexico's fucked up, man. It's so weird. In 2A, it seems to have just the north be the divine state of northern Mexico, but in 2B and 3A, it looks like it's just the whole country. Then the United Mexican Communes in the south with 2A. And the Central America is all one thing. The Caribbean Futurist controls all of the Caribbean. Panama controls all of Panama. And Costa Rica controls all of Costa Rica. There's no confirmed part of South America, but I doubt once... But seeing all the other development for South America being very even, like barely even being a thing, I doubt they would have changed too much in the first place. And then to be, or not to be. There we go. That's all the confirmed stuff we have to be. It is confirmed that the Realm of Great Buddha was created around this time, but it's in the teaser for the Red Russia, and it's blurred out, and it's also confirmed that there is the Far Eastern Republic and some sort of North Manchurian state, and that's going to be part of the Red Japan faction. Good. And now I can get rid of all these papers. We're going down the list pretty quick, but pretty quick now. Quick in terms of 30 minutes into the video. There we go. Alright, there we go. 3A. What is 3A? We are getting closer to the demo release period. So close that we have confirmed Great Scythia. It is piss yellow. You will find this. You'll understand when you see the teaser if you really go looking for it. But that's the main part of 3A that has a piss yellow, Yeah. Give me a second. Let me just... Oh, shoot, I forgot to make one map. But it's the 3A world map, and it's near on completely the same to 3B, but I will tell you what is different about it anyways. Yep. All right, yeah. 3A, the main difference is that, Great Scythia is included. Central Command Zone did shrink a little bit. It got rid of that little part right up there and becomes, as I told myself, skinny Central Industrial Zone. And that was more just that was not a holder, but like a tying point to understand these different sections for myself. But, it's not really too much different. It's called Sarmatia now, State of Pannonia, and Romanian. Okay, here, when you really get into it, the teaser was very hard to read. Rumanyan Cossack State. That makes no sense. Does it? I don't think it does. I don't think it should be. It's probably like Romanian state or something, but I doubt it'd be Cossack. But it looks like it. It looks like it to me. Now I'll just grab. Oh, shoot! I didn't forget to do it. Sweet. Yeah, this is the 3A map. It continues on with the America that we know and that we love, and that will be dead in 3B. And, change all the stuff about Europe. And it finally gets us content for South America. It gets us content for this continent, that Africa, all of the Middle East, all of India, and all of this area, which is all under Japanese control. And I will go get that map right now for you. There we go. See how quickly that was? That's new. These are a lot more sloppy because I made them later in the development period for this video. So much that I didn't include Australia because once you make all these, you'll really understand how hard it is. But Realm of the Living Buddha, we have the Soviet Republic for 3A. Everything you see here is part of the Japanese, like something Asian People's Republic or some shit. Except for that one and this one, which are the remains of some Chinese, either like emergency government or like warlords. Southwest NRA Command and the Xi'an Military District, as long as Realm of the Living Buddha and that one. There we go. I'll go get the American map now. Wait, there we go. I got the Middle East map, actually. There we go. It actually changed the Iranians' name from the People's State of Iran to the People's State of Jangal in this one. But it was never confirmed to be Iran anyways, but either way. And they have Republic of Pakistan. That's green, so it's not part of the, Jangalians' sphere of influence. And in this one, for some reason, it has a Greater Israel and an Ottoman state. I don't know why they would include that. But this one, the Ottomans are included in the Accelerationist France faction, but not Israel. Saudi Arabia is included. Yemen and Oman are included, and that's the only really important part of that. And here we go for India as well. As I just said, the Republic of Pakistan. Now, I couldn't really read it too good. So all the things with question marks with like the Marathi state, the Kingdom Mysore, Magsuski state, or the Deccan state, or really any of these little parts on the middle and the bottom of it, I couldn't really read it. I was really sussing these out from a very blurry screenshot of another person's video. Like, it was either Mad Art. No, it was literally nothing here. He made a couple of videos with this stuff. The Mad Artist made a lot of other videos about this stuff, like teasers, and that's where I got a lot of my information, along with Reddit and Discord. But that's India for 3A, as well as this Algerian thing, which is most likely or indefinitely going to be part of the French Civil War, which happens in the game, where obviously the French control North Africa, and it would collapse alongside them when they collapse into civil war during the game. And I couldn't really read that little part right there, like Escadron Division North. I couldn't really read it. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very hard to read. It was very blurry. It was very ununderstandable. If you would excuse my language. Yep. Now let me just get my America map for that one out. Those are ones I don't need. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, wait. Shoot, no, not that one. Wait, no, it's this one. I almost shook myself there. There we go. 3B is very weird because it combines parts of the demo map of America as well as the earlier map that I had shown you before this one, where it has a lot of the eastern parts of the U.S. still the same from the earlier version from 2A, 2B, and 3A, but 3B includes that as well as this really more fucked up looking America from the later warlords periods with, I'll just get nice and close where you can get a nice picture of it so you can understand it if you got this far into the video. Republic of Colombia. Now, I am pretty sure there was like something called Panzram's Clique, which was taking the place of Republic of Colombia, and which would be part of 3 Washington warlords that would actually get content, where there's a super event, if you can find it probably on Reddit or on the Discord, and it would have some super event of them unifying America, along with either the Seattle Commune or the Silver Legion. Silver Legion having a lot more paths. I think there's one with Neo Lemuria, there's one with like the Christian Commonwealth of America, and then one other one that's, I don't know, I think that's the main dude for the Silver Legion, but yeah. I couldn't, yeah, if we want to really get into it. And the Californian warlords, that will be explained in another map that I'll show you in a minute. Now, I think that's an Ozark state because it has the same color as that Ozark people state from this one, and it's really just bordering the Dominion European de la Nueva Carolina. I don't know how to pronounce it. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious by the way I did just pronounce it. And these are just some continuation states from this earlier one right here. Well, that's controlled by Yaqui, just for your information. All these ones are together. Black Belt Republic is its own thing. Florida is yellow and its own thing. New England is its own country. That was 3B. I was not meant to say that. Yeah, currently in 3A, that is the old map. I just explained 3B America. I'm not going back to restart the video 40 minutes in. And that's why we have captions for all the maps, so that you don't have to worry about me fucking it up. I almost forgot this. How did I almost forget this? These Germany maps I made. Sweet mother of pearl. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Just for you to look at them. Get a good look at them. Okay, good long look at them. 3A and 3B have essentially the same Germany. It has the same Germany. It has the same Germany. D has a completely different Germany, and even up to now, it has the same Germany as the current demo does. The demo does include a collapse of Germany, but only in the northwestern part of it, and that one right there, the one I'm touching, right there, right, yeah, that is one, right, that one. It collapses into the Ruhr Volksstadt, the Volksstadt Hanover, and the Westphalian Federation, which was the original name for this one, right there, right there, right there. Yeah, I'm trying to get it as like really easy for you to screenshot or take into whatever possession you see deem fit. But yeah, that's all that I need to say for that one right now. Let's see. For South America, this is really the only time I ever had to mention South America in the video, because it stays pretty consistent throughout the entirety of the mod's development period, even up until now. With the Surrealdom of Pindorama, this is the starting off period. These two maps are just for like the Guerrilla del Sud, which is like the War of the South or something like that in Spanish, and that's the main war between Chile and Brazil's faction, which is the accelerationist path, and I think it's Peru, Argentina, maybe Colombia and Ecuador, but they're anti-accelerationist, and yeah, you want to just really get looking at. There's also a Bolivian civil war that is included in the demo, and that's in the demo. Oh, there it is, number 1. There's the Greater Colombian Technate. There you go. There you go. And then these are the paths for either the accelerationists winning or the accelerationists losing the Southern War. With if they win, Pindorama annexes Uruguay, all of Paraguay getting completely split down the middle, Peru getting bigger. Wait a minute. It's actually, maybe. It's hard to tell because it's always constantly flipping. If the accelerationists are always going to be Brazil, but I'm not entirely sure if it's Peru or Chile. It probably is Peru. Yeah, it's probably Peru. Sorry, but yeah. Oh yeah, if you didn't see it, there's a very weird double stay in Ecuador where there's 2 of them. There's a really small Ecuador right there, and then there's regular Ecuador, and then I don't know why they would include another Ecuador, or like either like some rival government or like some minority that I just don't know about. And if the accelerations lose, they a lot of South Brazil gets turned into smaller nations. Argentina gets Uruguay. Chile gets bigger, has like some military administration zone above them in Peru. Peru gets smaller, Colombia expands, Venezuela stays the same, and the Federation de Futurist stayed the exact same. Good? Let's get to Africa. This continent has driven me insane for the last never. Thank God, because this is my laziest making this video, production-wise, for it, where I have created it's so confusing to read. Look at this crap. I can barely read this. I'm hoping you could, maybe. That's a if. But there we go. So 3A's Africa. We're still in 3A right now, if I didn't make it obvious. But there we go. Right there. Yeah. All of this stuff, that's for the Arabian state. This one is French. That's one France. That's one's French. That's one also French. Sorry about that part. Burp. African People's Republic. The Lower Volta State. A Togo, Nigeria, a Ghana. There's a Benin in there somewhere. In Africa, the only really interesting thing about it is the Bush War that happens between the exiles of Portugal and the exiles of Germany. Where are the exiles of Portugal? It's just the Kingdom of Portugal in exile, seeing as they already get invaded by the acceleration of Spanish during the intervention by the French in their Civil War. Now they live in Africa. But these are Nazis. Those are just straight Nazis in Africa. It's like the RSS Grobrick New Aldebaran. If you want to really read it, it's right there. There we go. It's very hard to read, and I'm pretty sure it's based off of a star name. Like a star in the sky. It's weird. Kenya is its own thing. All of Ethiopia is owned by the Italian National Republic. There's some fuck-ass state right there. And Madagascar stays the same through the entire thing as the Malagasy Kingdom. Yep, that's all for 3A Africa. And I already showed you... I think that's it. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Wait. No, it is. It is. Yes. That's all of 3A. One step closer to me being done. And now we get on to 3B. There we go. Look at that. 3B is the continuation. Not much changes in it. There's no changes to India. No, there is. There's all these small changes that make me have to make entire maps where it just changes a little border or makes a little another country in like India or some shit like that. But I committed myself to making this video, so I might as well tell you about it. I already told you about the whole America thing, but I'll show you again just in case somebody skips to this part of the video. There you go. I probably won't do timestamps. I might do timestamps. That'd be a good idea. I might. Probably won't, though. I'll probably forget about it. But, some little differences in Africa for 3B. The AGRNA, or the RSS Grobrick New Artaban, or whatever the fuck it's called. That's the same in Congo. Same with its Reichskommissariat, Cameroon. That was already in 3A, but in 3B, it's right there. Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, they all stay the same. Same with the African People's Republic right there. France, same. The Sahel Protectorate, same. Italian National Republic actually owns that now. I'm pretty sure they own that in the first one, but yeah, I may have fucked up on that one. But it does get expanded into more of the Chad area. Egypt is still controlled by France as a, Commissariat d'Egypte. The Kingdom of Portugal in Africa is a lot more fucked up, where Angola and Mozambique, including Zimbabwe, is controlled by the Portuguese directly, but the Directorate of Zambia is right there. It's right there. That's Ost Africa for the Germans. Kenya is the same, and South Africa is more fucked up. Botswana is its own thing. South Africa has been broken up into a bunch of little mini states. I should have, but I didn't. No way I did. It's right there. It carries over. If you could read any of that, if you could. The Bantu Confederation is that one right there. The Sud-Afrikanische Republic, which is a bunch of probably like Afrikaners, which I think it's Dutch people in Southern Africa. They're right there. And then just the obvious United African. I should not have abbreviated that. What the fuck does that say? UOSA. You'll find it. If you play the demo, it'll be the exact same. It doesn't matter. You're probably not going to play, South Africa in the demo anyways. It barely has any. It does have content. It's one of the only countries that has content. Anyways. Malagasy is the exact same. And, yep, that's all there is for Africa. I don't have to talk about South America again, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see. 3B, the seeing this is right before the demo actually gets released. This area split up. I put because by now you would have known if I was better at putting these all together. There we go. Wait, no, it's not out there. Wait, it might be. No, it isn't. It's right here. No, it isn't. Fuck. Let's sorry for the technical developments, but you can imagine having a bunch of double-sided paper with completely different ideas on the back and the front of them isn't exactly a recipe for making the most organized video on the planet. There it is. I'm surprised you can't smell the sweat coming off me. It's horrific. Fuck. I'll explain what all these like C2 and C1s and Ds and Bs mean in a minute. But for now, I'll just tell you what this is. But in 3B and D and 5 and 6 and onward, Anatolia is split between the Italians and the Great Scythians, which control the Pontic province. The Italians have the Italian region of Troy. The French regency of Constantinople is right there. The Tanagram of Balkana. And the Syrian Magnet right there. Yep. That's what Anatolia is in 3B and D. Demo. Shoot. And I'll just do Asia right now. Yeah, 3B Asia. The remains of China proper, or like the Chinese, ruling Chinese, Chinese actual states run by the Chinese and not by either the Japanese or the Buddhist nut-asses, are smaller than the 3A ones. But other than that, all of 3B is basically the exact same thing as 3A. I'll grab the Europe map for... Fuck. Where'd I put it? This is no bueno, man. This is no bueno at all. Well, can't ask for perfection when you're doing this shit. I sound like a doomer right now. Jesus. Okay. This is something I know I have. There's not like even a question of if I have it. I think I know where it is. It's right there. There we go. 3B Europe. There we go. This continues with the existence of the CIZ, the Northwest Confederation, which is probably it's the exact same name from this one with the Westphalian Federation. Prussian state is the same. Southwest Confederation is the same. The Commonwealth of Sarmatia, same one. It just has a different name. It has a different name. If you want to really get into it, there we go. Look at that. Look at that craftsmanship. Look at that shit. Yeah. The weird thing about this is it has Sweden as independent, which is actually going to be reappearing in 6A, I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I'll get rid of this for a second. Yeah. And 3B wise, that's all that's different. I showed you America, I showed you India, I showed you Japan, I showed you all the stuff. Yep. And now we get to the actual. That's 5. That's not even what I wanted. Ooh. Ooh. There it is. There it is. There we go. The demo. The game you can play. The one that matters the most. It doesn't. 6B matters the most. But, yeah. Demo has a lot of content. So much content, I decided to make the lore slides for this one be a bit more colorful. Now, the 3 main things I decided to draw for this were situation in Europe, situation in America, and situation in Asia. There we go. The Asian situation, if I didn't, I already explained it. Yep. The main thing is that the Scythians invade, when they're reunifying Russia, they invade the Zeltorossians in Red Flood, but in the Second Great War, they get invaded by the Japanese, who take over all of Manchuria and all of the far eastern parts of Russia, and put it under like the Far East or the Amur Soviet Republic, and Roman von Ungern-Sternberg invades all this shit. The Indians already ruined anyways. The only thing is that is continuous is that the Southern Indians are always part of some like democratic British-led presidency, and the North is controlled by random swordsmen. This is actually the only point with India only gets really interesting development-wise in 3D and onwards. But yeah, I just told you about Japan, but I forgot to write down. But for the GEW, I do have something you might want to see. I think I have something that you might want to see. It's not in there. It's probably in this stack of shit. There it is. Ooh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Really don't like this one. There we go. These are all the possibilities for the GEW, the Great Eurasian War. Now, the Great Eurasian War is the war between the Scythians, the Buddhists, and the Japanese faction. Green is when the Scythians win. I'm using the most up-to-date versions, so these aren't what are actually in-game. And I've only seen the Buddhists win in-game, but... and this isn't the one in the actual game. This is something completely different. If the Buddhists win in the actual demo, they control all of this, and China only gets up to here with the Great Empire of Qing. But yeah, if Scythia wins, Tibet becomes its own little thing. All of China is in the National Chinese United Government. The People's Republic of China is still part of the red Japanese faction. People's Republic of Korea. This is all like 6A stuff. This is because there's no confirmed sightings of a Scythian or a Japanese victory in the Great Eurasian War. Because I've never seen it. It's probably out there somewhere, but I wasn't hard enough looking at it. But the Mongolian province and the Dur province are controlled by Great Scythia. And if the Buddhists win, they get the Hai Kunbung Yunevel. I can't really read it too good. But Empire Great Qing and the Great Yoshan. Korean. It's the Korean kingdom. I'm bad at pronouncing this. Let's get over that. But yeah. But it does seem like the Japanese still retain a bunch of ports. Speaking of Japanese, this is what Asia looks like if they win. Hindustan Socialist Republic. I kind of just had that in for the fun of it because it's already red and it was, socialist anyways. So I might as well just add that into it. It might be part of like some Indian content. But yeah, they control all of China, like Confederacy of Northwest Nations, Tibetan Commune, and they do expand in India, which implies that this is definitely at least 5, and I'll make the obvious one India, because when India actually gets content, one of the main factions is basically a slave to the Buddhist. Yeah. And obviously this must be in the 5 cycle, or section, due to the fact that in 5, it has the purple Indians, which are the slave to the Buddhist, be in the eastern part of India. I'm making a lot of hand movements here, like it's obvious to you, but yeah, there we go. All this stuff stays the same. People, China moves a bit more further inland. That's a completed nation during 5 and 3D, or no, during 5 and 6, where all of China is under one nation, and so is Korea. And Japan is its own thing, and it doesn't control a bunch of like little ports around all of Asia. Farsi Republic gets bigger, Soviet Republic of Siberian workers get bigger, and yeah, that's all the current GEW. Now to get to the rest of the war. American collapse. I really just use it as an excuse to draw something cool looking. This is the lore that you can really get from it. Flynn becomes president. She's like the anarchist in control of like the American Workers' Party. There's a military coup. America collapses. Operation Angie? Angle? I don't know, it's French. They invade the East. The French do. The French invade the eastern seaboard of America and a bit of Canada, and they take it over. They run their supply lines thin, and they end up only getting to like the Mississippi River. American warlordism after the American emergency government falls due to not being able to win the war, and then now in the game. This is the European situation with the end of Red Flood, where basically French intervene in Iberia and Italy. They get attacked. They attack Germany. They get attacked by the British, and they win both those wars. And then they invade the USA in 1948. The Scythians. The Scythians are part of the Southern Peasant Republic, headed by Gorgolov, and they invade the Kavkaz Society, which is the remnants of the Soviets from the first Russian Civil War. And you know what that is. You're watching this video. You know what that is. You know what that is. Come on. But, yeah. They take over all of Russia, the Great Scythians. They... kind of like a weird penis motion, where they take over all the stuff of, like, Siberia and everything, including Zelta Rossiya. And then they take over the actual Russian Empire. Like, the homeland of Russians. The, like... where you at, like Muscovy, that sort of place. Then they attack the Poles and they attacked the Intermarium originally, just to like get all the Polish, Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Lithuanian stuff back. But then they realize that they're getting supplied by the Germans, so they just attack the Germans as well. Then they get attacked by the Japanese during the World War II. They lose a bit of Far East, then they stall the Japanese out, and ceasefire starts. And they split Europe down the middle with the French. Yugoslavia remains independent. They attack the Turkey with, the French by their side, and then they split it in between there with the Pontic province and the Italian regions of Troy, Regency of Troy being the main thing. And that leads to now. There we go. If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to get organized for a minute for the next hour. There we go. Just going to get a couple stuff organized for you. Though I did forget to tell you about America and India and Germany and Africa for 3B. Fuck. Yeah. Quebec, Divine State of Mexico, Central America, that's all for 3B, this whole area. Cuba is its own thing. Caribbean, Futurist only controls that. And Jamaica. Panama is the what's it called? Panamanian Canal is still part of Panama. Yeah. And for the demo, the actual game itself, that has, the eastern part of America being controlled by the French, where they also invaded a little bit of Canada, created the Automatist Republic of Nuevo Canada that controls this part. Dominion of Canada controls this part. United Nations. As I was saying, yeah, the demo, South America, Central America is a lot more fucked up in the demo, where it has the 12th military zone controlling all of southern Mexico. Bunch of, god damn these interruptions. Fuck. I should stop cursing. That's gonna ruin the engagement. But yeah, there's a bunch of little mine communes up in the very northern part of Guatemala. There's another government sort of thing. There that goes. God damn it. Yeah, the Kingdom of Mosquito is right there. That controls all of eastern El Salvador, eastern Honduras, eastern Nicaragua, eastern Costa Rica, and goes down to the Panamanian, Panamanian border. Now, El Salvador is, Guatemala controls Belize for some reason, and there's some other Mexican government right there called the Quintana Roo government, which is right there, south of the Mayan communes, but north of Guatemala, which controls Belize. El Salvador is regular. Nicaragua is in half. The Costa Ricans are in half. Panamania is in 3, with the French directly controlling the Panama Canal. The Republic of Panama controlling the really small sliver of the eastern the eastern speeches of Panama, and the rest being under the control of Escadron du Panama, which is part of the French faction. Here's Africa. It's the same as 2B, but slightly different. Zimbabwe is just a regular directorate. The Commissariat of Egypt is part of the Italian sphere of influence. All of Italy is part of the French Republic of the Ligue Solar in the beginning of the game, but when they collapse, it just becomes its own thing. They create their own government in later patches or later sections, but you've never played them because they're going to be released in the second demo, which has not come out yet. Nor will it ever. I can finally get rid of the Africa. No, I can't. Let's see. Did I tell you about it? Yeah. Yeah. Asia is the same in the demo. Germany in the demo is its final form with the northwestern collapse right there. It's split into the Kiel Canal Zone, Grand Kingdom of Thule. That's a grand right there, if you couldn't tell. Grand Kingdom of Thule, which combines Denmark with all of Scandinavia except for Finland. The Free State of Prussia, Confederation of Southern Germany, the National Republic of Austria. Look at that. We're halfway through. Halfway through on a 2-hour video. Sweet Mother of God. Help my soul. All of the Middle East is different. It's all under the People's Federation of Jangal. Syria Magna under the Italians is in control of it. In 3B, it was the French who controlled it as Syria Magna, but now it's the Italians. And before that, in 3A, it was the Greater Israel. It's the same for Saudi Arabia, where it's still the Kingdom of Arabia right now, or in the demo, it's Kingdom of Arabia, then Yemen, then Oman, but for number 6, to make it easier for myself to not make even more maps, I decided to fuck it up for you people by giving you something confusing to look at, where in 6A and B, they combined all of it into Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with the Straits Commission controlling it, which is probably, it's a French puppet state which controls all the major straits like Gibraltar, like Suez, like the Constantinople, and like the Red Sea Strait, the Strait Hormuz or whatever. I think that's a Strait Hormuz. This could be the Strait Hormuz. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It does mean I get to get rid of this map, and that's one down out of a lot to go. Have I shown you? I have not. Let me get the American map out. Here we go. Nope. Wrong one. Nope. Oh, there we go. Got some good ones here. Now, good thing about this, we're starting to run out of paper. Like, paper that I've used. So we're starting to actually get to the point where I can be a bit more organized. But, there you go. Now, for the demo, you can go play it. You can find out what it looks like better. But this is what America looks like. I didn't tell you about the Californian warlords in 3B, but that's what they are. Coruscant Unity, the realm of TGAC, which is controlled by the dude who started Scientology. Bar's Legion, which I'm pretty sure is Marilyn Manson. Is Marilyn Manson the dude who makes like all the fucking music, or the dude who killed those people? It could be both of them. I'm thinking it might be both. And the Dunes, some anarchic region that still continues into 6B. United Pacific Commune, the Oregon Commune, and the Portland Commune are all puppets of Japan who, during the warlord period and Frenzy for America, interjected and decided, I want some of that ass, and invaded parts of California, pushing the California National Guard, who's controlled by Patton, into Nevada. Yep. You can kind of guess about a lot of these, like Commune of Oasis America, Luminescent State of Roswell, aliens landed, I guess, and fucked up all that. European Refugee Coalition in the middle. It's a bunch of refugees from old Europe trying to figure out, because Europe is fucked up, man. It's controlled by the really anti-accelerationists and the regular accelerationists, and both of those are really fucky wucky. I should not have said it. That was a horrible saying. Fucky Wucky. That's horrid. American Patriot Front, the Dakota Round, Grangerland Frontier, the Fry Corps Tet Back, which you can find as my first ever good YouTube video. You're welcome. Like Kingdom of Macedon, the Confederation of Native Nations, the American Federal Emergency Government, what's left of it, Confinement Zone, which I don't know what it was. I forgot the main point of it. Like, why is it a whole thing? I don't know. But basically, that's all the cool ones. The Detroit Collective Adventurers, Territory of the Midwest, the Cumberland Technate, the Minion de la Nuevo Caroline, Florida, Surrealdom, the Southern Compact, the Central Escadron Zone, the Abstract State of Pennsylvania, the Rome Providence, and the New York Orchestral State are all the puppets of the French. Those are all the acceleration states. That's all the part of Operation Angle or whatever. There's not an N in it. I shouldn't say Angle, but I'll say Angle anyways. But yeah, I made this just because it kind of looked cool, and I figured I had nothing better to do with the back of this. So there we go. This is where it gets confusing, and this is where I tried to stuff a lot of content in because this was early into the production period of my video. Not the development of the actual mod. But, yeah. I'll let you really marinate on this for a minute. There we go. Alright. So, Great Scythia, Sarmatia, Avar, Romania, Ireland. You know what this is. But, now it gets confusing. Because I had fucked up something along the way where D is for, that's the name of it in the demo. Everywhere else it has a different name, like in 5 or 6 it has different names. Like in Spain or Britain, where this whole map is generally the same except for a couple areas. There was a couple areas I named by B. B means that throughout D, 3D, 5 and 6A and 6B, they are different. But I was too lazy to make a whole nother Europe map for all of those. So instead, I put them on the back of this map and a couple others to explain them later. Good? A-okay. The main B, there's B1, which is the Britain. There's B2, which is Thule, which is a very small one. And then there's B3 in right there. And if it wasn't obvious, Italian Combine 5 and 6, that's the name change. They change it in the Italian thing. Good. It's the only I'm not really going to mention the names of the factions. Pactilint, however you pronounce that, and the League Solar has control of all this stuff. All the C ones, you see like C3, C2, C1, and that's it. Those are changes in the game itself where there's further content from like scripted peace deals where either one of these Anatolians can win or either one of the Italians or the Iranians, I'll get into that later, or the Germans. You already seen C4, but I'll show it again just in case. Yeah, C4 is this one. C4 is, no. C4 is this one. This is C4. This is the collapse of all of Germany except for the Free Prussian state in the 5th section. There you go. Now to get into the C's. C's of pain. Now I decided weirdly to organize all the major development changes with these minor nations in one page, which makes it really hard to organize the video. You guys seem dedicated enough to watch an hour in, so I will give you that. I will give you that. Thanks, man. But, yeah. 3D, and 5 are all the same with Grand Kingdom of Thule, where they control just base Denmark, and Norway and Sweden. But in 6B, or 6A, it could be both, it has Denmark going a bit further into Germany, probably controlling the Kiel Canal Zone, as well as only this part of Norway, but also has Sweden, Norway being a faction, being a country again. I don't know if they're a part of like the Scythians or if they're just neutral like the Balkans. I'd say it's more neutral like the Balkans, but wait a minute. These are the Bs, not the Cs. Shoot, sorry about that. Yeah, the Bs are the changes in development. The Cs are the changes in the game. What does that mean? Well, C as in the changes in the game is like when you actually play the game like a couple years in, it might, as you're playing a country and you invade another country and get a scripted peace deal or something like that. Bs are changes in development where like the first section, you get this, I already explained it. But the Iberian state, the first one, 2 has Portugal being its own thing with the Spanish Solar Empire controlling that and a bit of Africa, which I may have forgotten to talk about. Shoot. Because I feel like I'm allowed to be at least a little bit sloppy with all this shit. Because I've been working hard. Shit ass. Yeah, I may have fucked up on 3B. Yeah. Yeah, that thing also, number 2 is also 3B for the section of Spain, which means that in Africa, Angola and Mozambique, Zimbabwe are controlled by the Spanish. Should have told you that earlier. I shouldn't have. But I got it back to you anyways, which means I care. But for 3A, it's Iberian state. For 3 and 3D, it's Iberian Mandate of Portugal and the Spanish national state. And then for 5, Iberian state. And for 6A and 6B, it's going to be the Kingdom of Hesperia controlling the entirety of Iberia. Now for England, it's pretty consistent, like the general stuff for it. For 3A and 3D, or 3A and 3B. If I just say 3, that means both 3A and 3B are the same. It's the same when I say just 2 for 2A and 2B, where the demo and the 3D control both Nuevo Normandy, and 5 controls the... Okay, no, wait. 5 as a section is a completely different thing. I'll tell you in a minute. There we go. Other than that, the demo stays the same from everything else. Fuck, I forgot about India. China, that all stays the same in the demo from 3B to the demo. But India, that ever fickle ass rape of a subcontinent. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There you go. Nope, never mind. I don't have it. Yeah, never mind. I was right. Yep. Indy stays the exact same. Indy stays the exact same during 3B to demo. It's the exact same from 3B to demo. Other than that, I think we might be done with the demo. Wait, no, I gotta tell you about the C's. That's not a C. This is a C. These are the C's. The C's, now, that's changes in the game. I would explain this to you. But C1 is more of a conspiracy theory rather than anything, where, this is C1, it is the Italian-Iranian war where the Italians fight with the Iranians over control of Syria. The Italians in control of Syria. If they win, they get Iraq. The socialist Persians, Iranians, when they probably get like Syria or something. I swear on my life, I saw it somewhere, either in like a dream or something, man. But it's out there that the scripted peace deals is what I'm talking about. But all I can really see right now, like in teasers and stuff from Discord, is a confirmed ending to the Italian winning, with them controlling Iraq. Saddam's wet dream of Iraq, where he controls that little bit of Iran that has all that oil and shit. But C2 is where some Italian... It might be like a proxy war where they just let their puppets fight it out, where the Italians let the Regency of Troy fight the Pontic province, and then they win. Or it might be a larger accelerationist war with the Greek Scythians. But yeah, the Italian Regency of Troy, if it wins whatever war that is, it gets control of the Great... It gets control as the Imperium Elysium, and if the Pontics win, it becomes the Greater Tsardom of Pontic Tsars, but the small islands like Rhodes and all the Greek islands are still under Italian acceleration control. But the really weird thing is that it is confirmed with a lot of other seas that they were created before the demo, but they will still be included in maybe the second demo in some way. Maybe I haven't played the game enough. No shit, I haven't played the game enough. I can't play it to understand any of this. I wish I could. But I can. C3 is the prophesized almost whatchamacallit, Zapado-Slavian revolt against the Scythians, in which that's the original look of it. That's that's the same through D, 3D, 5, and 6 that make up of Eastern Europe. But the idea of the Zapado-Slavian revolt has come up with Zapado-Slavia, it controls like that little bit of Lithuania. Ukraine becomes independent, Romania legionary state, and the Magyar Voivodeship. There's no winner state for this. It doesn't show it. It probably has some expanded Ukraine, some Baltic nations getting released, maybe like Belarusian shit. But I've only found the teaser of the failure of the Zapado-Slavian revolt, where all of them get smaller borders with the Great Scythia expanding. The Avars control Slovakia. The Moravians get independence, the Sarmatians get smaller, and the Dacians lose their coastline. Yeah, there we go. Alright. That's all demo for... Yeah. I think that's all the demo stuff. I think. I hope. I swear to God if it isn't. You could find out. You basically have to research my research anyways. So you have to like trifle through my video. I'm just kind of explaining what process I went through almost. Of going through a bunch of Reddit teasers, a bunch of Discord teasers, a bunch of screenshots, just to come up to this point. But the only difference for 3D is India. The first time Indy gets actual content. I'm not kidding. That's the only reason that there is a difference between India and any of these. Let me just whip that out. There we go. God, it feels so relieving to get to this point where I'm allowed to like trifle through way less papers. I don't have like 4 of these over here right now. Where, yeah, the only difference in India is it has an orange, that's just a regular free India democratic government, a Sikh empire, and a Zaptir Prasanna. Now, that's purple, deep purple, and it will continue to be purple along through 5 and 6, where it's probably a ally of the Buddhist or like some footheel of the Buddhist to basically fight for them in India. But in 3D for now, as we're talking about it, Democratic Republic of Kalat, that is a Iranian puppet. And that's it. Hindustan shows Republic, Deccan State, Kingdom of Mysore, British Ceylon, British Tamil Federation. You get the idea. Right? Yeah, right. And that's all there is for 3D. Wait, no, there might be. Maybe. And I'll tell you about it now. I didn't really bother making the Africa map for 3D, if you already didn't notice, but I just kind of drew some circles. They expanded Portugal in 3D 5 and 6 to control all of Central Sub-Saharan, Mid-South Sub-Saharan Africa? This area. This. Just move this from there. All of North Africa stays the same. Where does this arrow go to? Yeah, whatchamacallit, right commissariat, West Africa is still there. It's right there. South Africa is still fucked up. And yeah, basically. Oh, I do remember one thing. Ost Africa right here, that is changed over here. There you go. That's it for 3D. For 5 now. It's taking toll on my body. There's a major, rework of a couple major places of Asia, or East Asia, of India, of England, and of America, and of Canada for 5. 5 is the biggest rework. 6A is more of just a continuation of the rework. But for 5, here's the map of America with the Canadian is starting out with I don't know why I drew the names on here, but I also gave you a little map of Alaska, just for fun. That's what it's always been, even with the demo, with Kingoyev, the provincial administration of the Aleutians with crab socialism, the Anchorage, right there, Dominion of Canada, the Canadian Revolutionary Army, the Republic Autonomous, same thing as the old one, just kind of, just a lot bigger, controlling all like Manitoba or whatever with Canada. The Commissariat de l'Arcade, which is controlled by Adrian Arcand. He controls Newfoundland and that little bit of Halifax. Grand Kingdom of Thule always control the whatever you call it. Yeah. Greenland, that's what it is. But America is all fucked up, but in a different way. United Mexican States, same thing. All of South America is the same thing, or Central America is the same thing. But the U.S. warlord states have a big rework, including the collapse of them after the French collapse in the game. Yeah, the French collapse in the game. That's a whole other piece of paper I gotta show you next. But, yeah. Yeah. But the 5 section of the American warlord states has these 4 be the puppets of France, American National Republic, Etat Sublime de Dixie, Grand State Louisiana, United Escadron Corporate right there, Imperial Liberation Front, the Norse Fellowship Catholic Royal Army. You get the idea. You can read. I hope you can read. Bring up the camera so you can get a nice look at it. There we go. Yeah. And then I'll show you the collapse of America alongside that. Yeah. And then I'll tell you about all the changes with the English, the Indians, and the East Asians. Yeah. But with America, this is how it collapses with Council for American Salvation, the Committee de Administration Military Atlantic, controlling that area, Sub-Saharan Combine, which is the continuation state of the American National Republic, the Diggers. Oh, that was close. Right next to New York, New Sons of Liberty right there, United Monarchist Movement in Vermont. That's annexed by the Arcadians? Yeah, it starts off as Arcadian territory, so it really shouldn't even be here. A realm of Providence, Allegheny Directorate, workers in Pennsylvania, Cooperative Commonwealth Forces right there, Midwest Union of New Republics is right there, Rawls Circle. I think he's like some major military figure during the military coup against Flynn. The Cavaliers of Kentucky, which is led by Nathan Bedford Forrest III, Cumberland Tegnate, which is a continuation state of the corporates, whatever. Construction in Republic of Michigan, which is definitely a continuation state of the accelerationist Michigan Republic, and the free counties of Appalachia. And I did write down. I encircled them to show you where one earlier warlord or earlier accelerationist control area is and when another is. You know what I mean. Etat Sublime de Dixie, this area right here, Sublime State of Piedmont, the Klan Revolt, Coruscant Unity, Revolutionary Sunshine Republic controls this and that one for some reason, but the Coruscant Unity controls that. Why is it called the Coruscant Unity when the other one was on the other side of America? I don't know. I didn't really look at the Coruscant as a thing. All these are like connected to real life figures, but it doesn't really matter. Either way, the Grand Louisiana is the biggest continuation state of the actual accelerationist warlord that controls it. Free Southern Continental Army controls all of Southern Louisiana. Mississippi Red Guard controls that, and the All-American Resistance Movement led by Johnny Cash controls that. And Etat de la Grande Louisiane is the continuation of the state of Grand Louisiana. Look at how close we are to being done. You could not imagine how much fun I have the closer I get to being done with this. I put so much effort into this weird thing for the last couple months. Yeah. There we go. India. Number 5 for India. There we go. That's the continuation of the purple thing. The Free Indian Movement controls that. Which is kind of like in Red Flood where there's 2 republics of India. One right there and one right here. I guess like continuation of that. I don't know. Same thing for Pakistan. We're still a puppet government controlled by the Iranians. Kingdom of Kashmir, the Sikh state, Nepal and Bhutan have always been there since the beginning of this development. Free India Movement is actually the name for it this time. Marathi Confederation. There's some sort of Goa state right there. Kingdom of Mysore, the Hyderabad state, British Madras Presidency, and British Ceylon. Hey, look at that. And next we have to talk about the East Asians. There we go. Number 5 for the East Asians. God damn it, this is taking long. But it's mostly the same, except for the fact that they split up the South Indochina. They split up Indochina because originally it was just one larger state, with Vietnam, Laos, and Eastern Cambodia being part of one socialist state. But now it's going to be Vietnamese, the Laotians, and the Cambodians. And it's going to be named Kampuchea, probably led by Pol Pot or some shit. But yeah. But the main difference with 5 and East Asia is having the People's Republic of China being its own thing. Same for these ones. That's named Ya'an Military District right now, and that's the Southwest NRA Command right there. And that's the People's Republic of Korea, which is completely different from the Workers' Union of Japan. Because originally, in all the other editions, like, 2, 3, Demo, and 3D, were all having Japan be this Pan-Asian Federation that really just had a bunch of puppets controlling its holdings. If you know what I mean. Like, it had all those, like, large sections of China, like, just randomly cut out, but annexed into the the main Japanese country. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll bring that map out about 6. But, yeah. I think that's everything with 5. And thank God it is, because we are getting to the final stretch. 6. 6A and 6B. If you have, for some godforsaken reason, listened to this whole video the whole way through, I commend you. I thank you. Thank you. 6. Another American rework. Africa is the same. Britain is different. East Asia is the same. And India is also different. That's the main thing. India, USA, Britain. There we go. Those are the main differences between that. 6A. I'll tell you 6B in a second. But 6A, the main difference is that all of the American holdings by the accelerationists are under one government, except for Louisiana, which is its own thing. American Social Republic controls all this. Autonomous de Nuevo Canada controls just that. Bayome de Nuevo Acadie controls that. And the whole warlord states have been completely reworked. I'll bring it up closer. There we go. I could not for the life of me figure out what that is. I could not. I think I got over here. It may be like the Kingdom of Macedon where they tried to rework it back into the game. It might be. I don't know. I can't really understand it. There you go. Wait. There you go. The other difference was England, and I'll bring that out. The reason I leave these in is because it's really fun to hear my own voice. There it is. Alright. Getting this shit all out again. Yeah, so for 5 and 6, the main difference for England is that 5 has the Regency of the Iceni controlling that area. For 6A and 6B, it has it just under the Republic of Thessaly. I can't read it, but yeah, I'll read them out just to be nice. But 5 has the Welsh Republic, the Federation of Dunmonia, Nuevo Normandy just controls this area. Number 1 that's the National Republic of Flavia, Regency of the Iceni is right there, and the Grand March of Northumbria is right here. For number 6, it probably is. It might not be, but I doubt it would be something different. But okay, I'll explain it. In the teaser, in which I understood that this was definitely number 6, it had it cropped out the rest of England, so you couldn't confirm the names of anything. So you could really only confirm the Republic of Thessaloniki and the National Republic of Flavia. So I just kind of assumed that these are named the National Republic of Northumbria, or the Welsh Republic, or the National Republic of Domonia. Whatever that is, I forgot, so it doesn't matter. But, whatever. And I already talked about Spain, so good. India. India. I got it written out for the Indochina situation that I was talking about earlier, with the Socialist Federation of Iran controlling the Pakistanis. Realm of the Living Buddha has them as a puppet state. Realm of the Avatar, and the Avatar is Ronan von Ungern-Sternberg, who is the Living Buddha, and they're having a Naxalite rebellion, which is a real world thing, but they're including in this mod as something that will rise up during the Great Eurasian War, so that there's actually something for India to do other than fight in Burma. So, Hyperbad State. Okay, all these like arrows right here, these are the name changes from 6A to 6B. There's no border changes in these ones. Lose my voice. I've been talking for an hour and a half. More than that. It's been like 2 hours because I had to do a couple of takes before this. But the Union of Burma, Communal Republic of Siam, the National Democratic Republic of Kampuchea controls that little sliver of Cambodia. Lao People's State, the Revolution Republic of Vietnam is right there, and whatever Goa is, but the 6A names for all these ones are the Mysore Presidency, Reorganized Bombat Presidency, and the Madras Presidency, and British Ceylon stay the same. And it gets integrated into the Anglo-Dominion in 6B of Madras. And that turns to the princely state of Mysore in 6B, and that changes into the Reorganized Bombay Authority in 6B. And that's all of India. Look at that. We made it all the way through. We're not done. 6B. Let's change this over. Aren't you so happy this almost done? I am. Did I show you 6? Did I show you the Asia? I think I didn't. I need to tell you about it. There it is. Alright. Here we go. I didn't talk too much about it with 5, with the Manchurian social state being that one, but it gets smaller in 6A and 6B, where it's a North Manchurian People's Special District, and then there's the People's Republic of China, really big. The People's Republic of Korea is the same. I basically already talked about this. You can understand. Yeah. 6B. I already told you the difference between England. I already told you the difference between, like, with 5, with, like, India and China. The only difference with 6B is the United States. Where in 6B, it is, I get the confirmed American collapse after the, after the French collapse. The American accelerationist government in America collapses, who were controlled by the French, and they collapse. And if you didn't know this, is because I saw some teaser in some Discord channel, whatever, and I found it, and I was elated, and it was amazing, and then I drew a map of it, and then I made this video, and that was a week ago. Doing all this has really ruined my sense of time. But, yeah. American Social Republic. It's mostly the same as 6A, only the fact that there is no, Free Lincoln Rifle Association or whatever. It's just smaller right there, and it takes up the place of the demo John Lennon looking thing. You'll understand if you play the game. Nova Albion, all these look about the same. There we go. If you really want to go look at it, It's basically the same, but it does give us that confirmed thing with the revolt in America, with the Kanawha Miners Union controlling that, New Sons of Liberty controlling that, the United Marxists controlling that, the Diggers controlling New York City, Council for American Salvation, and the United Clans of America, the KKK. And Canada is about the same. I'll go grab the Canada map. There we go. There we go. Yeah, 6A and 6B have the same map for the shoot. Yeah, Canada. The entirety of everything south of the American border with Mexico is the exact same since the demo. But for the Canadians, it's a little bit different with 6A and 6B and 5. 5 has the Canadian Revolutionary Army starting off outright. It's just there from the beginning. But in 6A and 6B, they only appear later into the game. It's more of like a change. It's probably would be better suited for the C series. C series being that series earlier in the video where I was talking about like changes in the game, not in the development of the game, of the mod, really. But you know, who's to say? Okay, but in 6A, there's a much smaller acceleration as Canada, but in 6B, it's a much larger acceleration as Canada up to this border. In 6A, it's only this little sliver right there. But in 6A, it's the Acadians, whatever they're called, is the Boyum de Nuevo Arcadia, and in 6B, it's Commissariat de la Arcade, and in 6A, it's the Automatiste du Nuevo Quebec, but in 6B, it's just the Republic Automatiste du Nuevo Quebec, which extends to this border right there. I don't know if you're getting any of this thing. Yeah. But yeah, 6B. I did it. We're not done yet, are we? No, because I have yet to show you this map. This is the French development map, the main prize of the game. Here it is. Here's what you've been waiting for. Now, what I do again? Okay. So this is the Talam, or however you pronounce that name, template. This is what he released on this thing. I already showed you, but this is all the French Civil War stuff. What France looks like during the Civil War into the game. But I'm gonna link the video down in the description. But the thing is with this, the YouTube video has all the same names for all this stuff, but the YouTube video didn't have any of the actual maps for it. But I guess Talam decided to make up the map for it, like the Gauls and the French national state, Territoire de Libre de France. Gaul is right there. It's really hard to read, Jesus. But, French National Worker State is right there. The Dutch state is right there. Reborn Germany's Worker State is all this area, and they cut a little bit into France right there. This is the French National State right there. There we go. These actual squiggly lines are the base borders of France. All these curvy lines are the Civil War factions of France. French National State, the Escadron Gaucher de la France is the main one right there that controls a bit of the British. Yeah, right there. This whole area goes to Siberia. This all goes to Italy. The Acefale territory goes right there. And yeah. Then there is the... Give me a minute. Wait. Nope. Wait. I'm thinking about something. Wait. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, this area is the first section's Civil War for France. Gaul is still territories, free French territory. Leon Commune, the Caliphate de Francis, the Iberians are right there. Now, I didn't tell you in the Talaman thing, but there's like a Caliphate de France in Algeria, which would be right around here. Not talking about this area, but some imaginary Algeria. Rhenish Republic, Dutch state, Escadron de Francis, French Liberation Committee, and yep, and this goes to Italy. Now, in 2A and 2B, they share the same thing, but they do have a lot more content for this. God damn it, it's almost over. 2-hour long video, Jesus. If you don't like my voice, I don't know why you're still here. But the Soleil government continues to hold this part. There's some red Dutch state right there, some Dutch national army right there, the Dutch Volksfront. Thing is, that's not part of the original France country in the game. They're part of the German collapse in the game. You sure I'm going with this? So they can intervene in the French Civil War, and that will lead to this. But I'll tell you that in a second. But Escadron de Boucard, which is probably just some rival French government faction. Garde de Populaire de Benet, right there. That goes to Iberia. The Loyalists du Non-Guesseur controls that. I'm pretty sure he's a pedophile. And Legion de la Cruauté right there, which I think is a Legion of Cruelty. And they got a lot of content in 6B and whatever second demo they're ever going to release ever. If. That's it. If. I don't know. But now, if the Dutch National Army can wins the Civil War, they get all of the actual, Dutchlands or whatever, Netherlands. They get all the actual Netherlands. The Greater Netherlands Reich, or Regic, or whatever the fuck you pronounce that. The RUK stands for Ruk Commissariat, which is probably just Reich Commissariat when you actually pronounce it in Dutch, but I'm going to say Ruk. The Ruk for Runland, the Ruk Burgundy, Ruk Frankrijk, Ruk Britannia, Ruk Bordeaux, and Ruk Occitane. And then for the red Germans that can intervene in the Civil War, they get to create the Duchess Volksrepublik. They help the Red Dutch expand to create the Dutch People's Republic. They have the Wallonian People's Republic, which has right there. The Dutch Volksrepublik controls that area right there. This stuff right there. And they create the French People's Republic. They create the Socialist Republic of Brittany and the Occitanian Socialist State. There we go. That's for that. In 3A and 3B, there's no French Civil War. The only difference between 3A and 3B is that they do not control Aragon or Barcelona or wherever anymore. But from the demo to 6B, I can only assume that they use the same Civil War. No, I can't assume because they show a map of it. So yeah. Yeah, from demo to 6B, they use the exact same French Civil War. There's probably some difference, but I don't really feel like finding out. Or asking people. That's the weird thing about these videos, just because I never directly interview any of the developers with these. I might announce who I'm going to do these videos next on at the end of this video if I really make up my mind. Yeah. Because the majority of these is just basically cyberstalking somebody to figure out their work on a Hard to Find 4 mod. So that's the Rhenish Republic. That's a list Soleil government. That's the front chrono list. Legion de Cruauté, the Les Escadron de Future, Le Comité Invisible, and Escadron Camelique. Right there. And there we go. And that's all the maps. All of them. We're done. We should be, but we're not. Because we need to go over the ideologies. Oh, God. So, why did it say 2 missing up there? It's because when I was looking at the, not description, but whenever you right-click on a nation, you'll get like that little pop-up that shows all their popularities of parties and stuff, and it has 11 in them. This only has 9. I might be miscounting. I don't know. Probably not, but they had a whole teaser for like all their cool new ideologies. Accelerationism has the sub-ideologies of surrealism, orthodox futurism, constructivism, national synarchy, national vitalism, and impetumism, because there's an M. I know that. They may have misspelled it. Impetuism. I don't know. Mistakes have been made in every part of this process. From the original release of the YouTube video to now. About 3 years ago. Conservatives, the national have sub-ideologies of national conservatism, socialist conservatism, religious democracy, and liberal conservatism. The revolutionary socialism has sub-ideologies of democratic socialism, folk socialism, neo-Spartanism, and syndicalism. Reactionism has sub-ideologies of reactionary populism, ethno-vitalism, religious fundamentalism, and reactionary esotericism. Liberalism has sub-ideologies of national liberalism, social liberalism, classical liberalism, libertarian capitalism. There you go. Fan card socialism has Leninism, state socialism, national collectivism, and social republicanism. Paternalism has military dictatorship, Caesarism, paternal monarchism, and anocracy. And the progressivisms have sub-ideologies of left-wing populism, social patriotism, progressive democracy, liberal socialism, and that's it. And then there's anarchism, which has obviously social anarchism, statelessness, individualist anarchism, and national anarchism. That's all those. And now for the other little pieces of paper that have just been sitting over here for a while. Now, first of all, to some way shout out the people who have either worked on the mod or have been giving me information for all this shit for a while. Going down the list. Indy is one of the main developers. This big Goji. The thing is, some of these might be the same people, because different profiles over different like Reddit accounts and different Discord accounts might be just the same people. Lemonade made a bunch of really early. He released some early teasers in the early YouTube. He posted on YouTube some really early teasers for the first section of development. Python is the original creator of the mod. Sardarkn, Grieving Ohio, Lvov, and Rising Star Banner, I'm pretty sure are all just developers. I think Lvov does like a bunch of the Obsidian stuff. I think so. But that's me. That's the dude who made the original Reddit post and whatever YouTube video fucking inspired him to make that. Mad Artist, he made a lot of teasers on YouTube for this stuff, and that's been a really big thing to find out a lot of information for this. Literally Nothing here is a really big hard to find for like news, basically news information channel that gave me a lot of information just as well. And yeah, conspiracies, most of them have already been answered. There you go. That Indy dude doesn't even work there anymore. He's not even a developer. He's on like some Kaiserreich. Yeah, it's a Kaiserreich sequel mod. Yeah. Most of them have already been answered. What if he was lying? No, he isn't. I've already confirmed that. Second demo is never coming out. I sure fucking hope not. Mad Artist is dev. I'm pretty sure he has to be, because he has so many insights into early teasers that I can't find anywhere else. I'm pretty sure he has to be a developer, because he's still posting on his YouTube account about this stuff. He does monthly progress reports. I haven't watched any of them because they take too long, and this has already been such a long project that I want to end it. But whereas Python Slay, he's busy with some business in South Korea. So yeah. Yeah. What if the Dutchy teaser that created the whole concept of a 2B section was just a post to Kachevsky post Grand Eurasian War? No. One, because it fucks with my timeline, and two, because it was released 2 years ago, and we only have confirmation for the... I don't know. I've mentally checked out with myself that this is definitely wrong. The whole idea that it's just supposed to accept it. I think it was probably because literally nothing here just said that there is the idea of having the Great Scythian successor states have different names for their puppets. I think that may have just kind of thrown me off a little bit, but then I figured out it's all good. 2B is still a section. I'm not worried about that. What changed from 5 to 6? I already answered that myself. The Italian-Iranian teaser, I swear to God, I've seen it, but I can't find it. I may have just streamed it. I probably did. There could be sub-errors of 1. I don't think so. Because like that whole Eternal Perun teaser for number 1, that fucked me up because it didn't have a clear view of the ocean, and the whole point of number 1 was not just being the first edition of it, but it was also the fact that it had the default oceans for Hearts of Iron 4, and all the other ones have darkened oceans for like the aesthetics or something. And that's it. Yeah. I haven't gotten... If you can imagine, none of this has really added anything to any bank account ever, but I would really like it if at least one of you guys subscribe to this. Thank you. Bye. Oh, and if I'm really thinking about doing another one of these videos, and I am, but I have about 3 options for what next I should do this on. Cyber Hearts, The Iron Dream, and Fermented Wolves. Fermented Wolves has gotten a lot of recent teasers, so that's pretty good. Iron Dream is dead. Duma is still working on it. And Cyber Hearts is slowly getting teasers because it's really new. I don't know which one to do, but I'm going to do Fermented Wolves. See ya.